This week's Current Climate, which every Saturday brings you a balanced view of sustainability news. Sign up to get it in your inbox every week. Earlier this week, McKinsey released a new report aimed at providing a detailed guide for business leaders in the United States who are looking to strategize around the transition to net zero carbon emissions. Among the consultant group's findings was that reducing carbon emissions doesn't have to be capital intensive. Boosting operational efficiency, for example, could reduce around 1/5 of the emissions needed for the net zero goal while also saving money for businesses. The report notes that there's a wide gap between the current trajectory of U.S. emissions and the trajectories needed to meet emissions targets, and its authors note that getting on the right path isn't easy. But it is possible, especially if the country takes advantage of both its native resources and the skills and talents of its workforce to deliver a range of climate solutions. And using this approach, the authors say, means a potential win-win for both the climate and the economy. This year's Forbes Under 30 Europe list for manufacturing and industry features young people who are innovating in surprising ways. And a lot of that innovation has to do with improving renewable energy and helping industry move towards net zero. Read more here. U.S.-based satellite launch provider Rocket Lab used a helicopter to snag a used rocket booster in midair during a launch Monday, a maneuver the company says brings it closer to developing the first fully reusable small satellite launcher. In a non-binding opinion delivered to the European Union Court of Justice, German Advocate General Juliane Kokott said an infringement of air quality guidelines under EU law may give rise to entitlement to compensation from the governments of member states. New research finds that if just 20% of the global consumption of beef was replaced with microbial source proteins, annual deforestation could be reduced by as much as 56% a year. Ex-Tesla engineer building silicon anode plant as US amps up EV Battery ProductionSila, a battery materials startup co-founded by one of Tesla's earliest engineers and backed by Mercedes-Benz, is building a large-scale factory in Washington state to make battery anodes that use silicon instead of. The company says that will make electric vehicle battery packs more energy efficient and, eventually, cheaper. Read more here. The arrival of May means that the Atlantic hurricane season is right around the corner. Here are 4 things that climate scientist Marshall Shepard is looking out for as the season approaches. This summer's initial forecast is calling for much of the same as last year, dry and warmer than average for much of the country. With thousands of sporting events scheduled for the summer, that brings heat safety to the top of the list for event organizers.